Hello everyone and welcome back to Secrets in Dragon Ball Games. Budokai 3 is a pretty fast-paced fighting game, and spotting this detail amidst all the action proves to be quite a challenge. You see, once you send your opponent flying in Budokai 3, you can press the circle button to extend your combo by teleporting in front of them. You can essentially keep on pressing circle, and your character will continue to teleport, given you have enough ki left. Main thing we're gonna focus on here is the way the characters teleport before punching the enemy away. Most characters do the same thing. Quick teleport, punch. Teleport, punch. Teleport. Well, you get it. When I say most characters, I do mean most, like 99% of them. So, who's the lucky 1%? Well, it's
me, Goku!
But not just any version of Goku. You have to be in Super Saiyan 3. If you attempt to teleport while playing with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, something unique happens. Let's play it back in slow motion. It appears that SSJ3 Goku is the only one who's properly teleporting. Those two fingers tell us that he's teleporting using instant transmission, whereas everyone else uses the regular teleport animation. Only potential reference I could find was this one from the Fusion Reborn movie. But then again, he has also used instant transmission in every other form. So yeah, not sure why it's exclusive to Super Saiyan 3 and not any of the other forms. Could be a reference that I'm not familiar with, or maybe just a random detail from the devs. Either way, a big shout out to Quake Gamer for pointing out the detail. And since we're already on the topic of instant transmission,
Where the hell am I? Oh no!
Honkai Impact 3 is a next-gen 3D cross-platform anime action game with open-world exploration, fast-paced combat, and stunning 3D effects. Do you like when a game feels fresh with consistent updates? Honkai Impact 3 has got you covered. Version 7.0 continues the story of Fu Hua and her old squad mate Griseo as they get closer to uncovering the truth. This update also brings a new limited-time event, Captain's Ranch Tale, bunch of amazing new outfits such as Pumpkin Heart, Team Barigo, and Outstanding Attitude. Not only that, but you can also obtain a new weapon, the Infinite Intimidator, and a brand new S-rank character, Theresa, with her Lunar Vow Crimson Love Battlesuit. Now she is really cool. She fights using a literal chainsaw. Don't get on her bad side, cause she will cut you in two. By completing the login event, you'll be able to get focused supply cards and a S-rank battlesuit option. Open it to choose either a Dia Ankara or a Jade Knight character card. And if you spend 30,000 crystals, you can also get Silverwing and Nexus' new outfit, Outstanding Attitude. The upcoming Part 2 update will also be taking the action to Mars, introducing new areas, Oxia City, Langchu, and 4 new characters, Dreamseeker, Senadina, Corali, and Helia. It's available on your mobile devices, PC, and it's completely free to play. Heck, you can even play co-op with your friends. So what are you waiting for? Download Honkai Impact 3 today and join in on the action by clicking the link in the description. And don't forget to use this code to get tons of free rewards, with new players getting even more bonuses once they join the game. This next one has been haunting me for a good while now. I vaguely understand what they were trying to convey with this detail, but I still can't put all the puzzle pieces together. Let me explain. Tenkaichi 3 has a certain power threshold, and if that threshold were to be surpassed, a select few characters would gain a special ability. That special ability being instantaneous / rapid movement while in max power. To perform it, you just have to press the guard button and point the analog stick in any direction you wish to teleport. Also, don't forget that you have to be powered up to the max.
You had it!
It's actually pretty OP, considering you can do a ton of these with just the press of a single button. You can use it to gain distance, avoid enemy attacks, sneak up on your enemy, etc. It's pretty versatile. However, things do get a little weird once we look at all the characters who can use this movement. If you recall a couple of seconds earlier, I've mentioned that characters would have to satisfy one more criteria in order to enter the rapid movement mode aside from being max powered. They would also have to surpass a certain power threshold. The threshold being Super Saiyan 3 level of power or higher. In other words, if your character is considered stronger than, let's say, SSJ3 Goku, then they would be able to perform rapid movement. If they're weaker than SSJ3, like SSJ2 Vegeta for example, then they won't be able to do rapid movement, and would do a key reflect animation instead. I really wanted to get to the bottom of this, so I tested every single character in the game and made a list of all the characters who could use rapid movement, with the hope of finally understanding how this mechanic works and why these characters can use it while all the others can't. In the top row, you have all the characters who are considered SSJ 3 tier of power and above. There's Kid Buu, whose position is justified, Omega Shenron, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and Perfect Cell? That's right, Perfect Cell can also use rapid movement. Why, you may ask? Well, while he's nowhere near close to Super Saiyan 3 level of power, he does however have something else going for him.
He can use instant transmission.
You may have noticed some characters in this row who aren't nearly as strong as SSJ3, but are still placed here. Well, it's because they fulfill a different criteria, i.e. being able to use instant transmission. Characters such as Metacooler, Supreme Kai, Perfect Cell are all able to use rapid movement due to possessing instant transmission. There's also Birder, who can do rapid movement as well, probably due to the whole fastest in the universe thing. All of these guys so far have a reason to be on this list. In the row below, we can find all the other characters who can perform rapid movement without satisfying any of the above mentioned criteria. None of them have Super Saiyan 3 level of power, nor are they able to use instant transmission. I tried making sense of it, but no luck. I mean, there's Mecha Frieza, a character who isn't even SSJ1 level of power, yet he's able to teleport like a madman. And what's more, his normal form, the non-robotic one, isn't able to do rapid movement. It's almost like those scientists gave him an upgrade when they were reassembling him. As for all the rest, I got nothing. I tried my best to break this mechanic down, but there are a few inconsistencies that kind of mess with my theory. My theory being, only characters who are considered Super Saiyan 3 tier or above and or possess the instant transmission technique are able to perform rapid movement, but a certain Space Tyrant and a few others kind of ruin it. So yeah, if any of you are able to shed some light on this in the comments, I'm all ears. Jumping back in time to Budokai 2. Budokai 2 was the first game in the series to introduce fusions, and of course, as they introduced fusions, they also introduced failed fusions. Also, I want to praise Budokai 2 real quick. They gave us something we barely see in modern games, and they were doing it nearly 20 years ago. We got Gotenks, and the game-exclusive fusion, Tiensha. Gogeta wasn't included due to the game not covering the Fusion Reborn movie. He will, however, make an appearance the very next year in Budokai 3. I was honestly really surprised by the amount of effort they put into these characters. Let's say you want to dash with Fat Gotenks. Instead of doing a fly dash like characters typically do in this game, Gotenks will have this slow running animation and is barely able to stop himself from flipping over with all the weight he has. I also like how he gets tired if you attempt to do a super move or an ultimate. And not only with super attacks, if you fire more than 3 ki blasts, you will get tired. Also, when you finish up a combo. Now here's a really cute detail. If you attempt to do a grab, he will literally flip and crush the opponent. When Infinite World came out, they added some new features for the failed fusions. Thanks to Infinite World's addition of Super Dash, Veku can now do that front lip attack from his dash directly. And not only that, Fat Gotenks also get a brand new attack? Now, I don't know if you can really call this an attack. It doesn't even do damage. It's more of a feint move, I guess. Nonetheless, I appreciate the inclusion. Oh, and I almost forgot. Both Gotenks and Veku have this strange, scared, surrender-like animation when you press the guard button. I rewatched both Gotenks and Veku scenes and I couldn't find the reference anywhere. I don't know. In Tenkaichi 3, certain ultimate attacks are able to literally vaporize your opponent. This is mostly reserved for attacks that actually annihilated someone in the show, like Trunks' Heat Dome attack, which he used to completely disintegrate Cell. And the same happens if we use it in a game. While the ultimate didn't necessarily need to disintegrate someone in the show in order to do the same in the game. For example, you got Goku's Saiyan Saga Spirit Bomb, which didn't really do all that much to Vegeta, yet vaporizes your opponent in-game. It does appear to be mostly reserved for attacks that actually disintegrated someone in the show. Also, a thing to note, disintegration is exclusive to ultimate attacks. You won't see your super attacks having the same effect. Or will you? Well, for the most part, you won't. Super attacks just don't have that kind of power. But what if you aren't using power? What if you're using Magic. A couple of Majin Buu forms have Chocolate Beam as one of their super attacks. Let's see what happens if we turn someone into chocolate while they're on low HP. Well, would you look at that? There's nothing left. As far as I know, this is the only non-ultimate attack that's actually able to vaporize the opponent. I guess vaporize isn't the appropriate word here. Think it's more of a, oh Majin Buu ate you, and that's why there's nothing left. At least I think that was the desired intention here. In the previous video, we established that giant-type characters have super armor. Long story short, super armor equals no reaction when getting punched. But they will, however, react to punches thrown by characters who scale to Super Saiyan 3 and above. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the most unique giant-type character, the Pilaf Machine. See, when you're punching any giant-type character, they simply won't react to your attacks, unless your character is SSJ3 level. This is a rule every giant-type character lives by. Well, everyone except these guys. The Pilaf Machine Fusion is the only giant-type character who doesn't have super armor. They react to every single punch and kick you throw at them. Even Nam's attacks stun them. Only character that isn't able to stun the Pilaf Fusion is Mr. Satan, because he's the champ. Also, every other giant character has zero reaction to Pilaf's attacks, because these guys are just that weak. But that's a good thing. The game took the whole power level dynamic into account when designing the Pilaf gang. It might not be fair to all you Pilaf fans out there, all three of you, but it's completely faithful to the source material. One of the most underappreciated features of Budokai 3 are the many subtle map changes that occur during your Dragon Universe exploration. I love how they foreshadow Cell's arrival by placing his time machine far away in the woods. And the best part is that the game doesn't even make a big deal out of it. You won't be prompted to go there or anything. It's just there, waiting to be discovered by curious Dragon Universe explorers. And by the time you reach the Buu Saga, it's no longer there. It was moved by Bulma. My favorite detail by far is in relation to Orange City. At the very beginning of the game, you can see this small city located near Goku's house. During the events of the Saiyan Saga, Orange City didn't look that impressive. Only notable thing about it was that it survived Vegeta and Nappa's onslaught. After the Saiyan invasion, Orange City slowly expands, and by the time you reach the Buu Saga, it's hard to miss just how much the city grew. See that giant building in the middle? That's actually Gohan's school. And you'll also notice that it isn't called Orange City anymore. Nope, the city's new official name is Hercule City. I love how they call it Hercule City. And the very first thing you see when you land is the giant billboard that reads Satan City. As we already know, Tenkaichi 3 features destructible stages. And when I say destructible, I mean destructible. Not in the sense that you can destroy various structures and objects around the map. More in the sense that you can blow up entire stages and create desolate wastelands. Now, this isn't groundbreaking or anything. We already saw the Budokai games implemented the exact same thing. And they came out before the Tenkaichi series. No, that's not why I'm mentioning this feature. Rather, I'm mentioning it because of a certain stage that can't be destroyed, no matter how much you try. Tenkaichi 3's map pool can be separated into two categories: the Earth stage pool and the Space stage pool. The Space map pool features a bunch of prominent locations from the series: Supreme Kai's world, Planet Namek, the unnamed planet that is supposed to be a recreation of the planet where the first Broly movie took place, and a few others. And out of all the space stages, Planet Namek is the only stage that can actually get blown up, most likely due to the fact that we've seen it happen in the show. As for all the other stages, nothing. No matter how many ultimate attacks you throw. I think it's probably because there weren't any reference points for the devs to go off of, and it would also be a real pain to design a unique destroyed version for each of the stages. And I know how much they hate doing that. Why do I say this? Well, 33 out of the 36 stages that are located on Earth use the same stage as their destroyed/ruined version, i.e. the Wasteland stage. So what about those 3 other stages? Do they have a unique destroyed version, or did they reuse the Wasteland stage? Well, they don't have a unique version, nor do they reuse the Wasteland stage. They simply can't be destroyed. The World Tournament stage can't be destroyed, most likely due to the fact that it's a special stage, i.e. it has special conditions, the ring out. I think developing a desolate version of it would take more time and resources, considering it functions differently from the other stages, so they just opted not to do it. Next one is Kami's Lookout. Now this one is either insanely clever or completely lazy, depending on how you look at it. This is the only Earth stage that takes place in the sky, meaning if you cause damage to the stage, you won't necessarily be causing damage to the planet itself. Therefore, there's no need to make a destroyed version. That's my theory at least. And finally, the Penguin Village. This stage is also indestructible, but I think there's a good reason behind it. The most notable resident of Penguin Village is Arale, a gag character. A gag character is someone who doesn't really abide by the same rules everyone else does. We talked more about it here in a video way back. I wouldn't chalk this one up to laziness, as I believe they were going for the whole, oh, it's a gag location, a small cartoon village. It wouldn't make sense for it to be destructible, but that's just what I think. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. That's all for this one. A big shout out to Honkai Impact 3rd for sponsoring this video, and an equally big shout out to Avenged Nugget for providing those hilarious cell impressions. I highly recommend checking out his work. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know which DBZ games you want to see next.